Right, guys, how's it going? Well, I have reviewed today's Spanish football dailies for you to see if there's anything in them to do with Liverpool Football Club. We're thinking Trent Alexander-Arnold and Real Madrid, Luis Diaz, Barcelona, that kind of thing. Keeping an eye on Mamardashvili, who had a fucking howl yesterday. We're going to start with that in a minute. You know, some people are interested in Zubimendi, see what's going to happen with his career. He's going to get a mention today. Salah gets a mention, Nunez gets a mention. I think nothing transfer related, just to do with the game yesterday. And maybe a few other bits and pieces. But if you're watching this video to see if there's any like transfer gossip, anything juicy or out like that, there isn't. All right. So yeah, how you doing? You all right? Yeah, good, nice one. So I review the Spanish football dailies every day. Usually I do them in the cafe. Not today. It's Sunday. It's closed. Yeah, today I'm going to go and see some Spanish football myself. Yeah, I'm going to go and see CF Benidorm. David Villa's Blue and White Army in action today up near Valencia. So I'm going there with the boys and girls. There's some chicks go as well. And I've just packed my ice bag, you know, my cooler bag, should I say. Filled it with ice. I think I've got 16 cans of cider in there, so I'm all right. And I've got another bag that's full of some cheese and ham pasties for everyone at half time. Yeah, I know how to make friends, mate. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, no, they're for you and all. No, they're not. They're not. Right, let's get started. Okay, like I say, we review the Spanish dailies every day. Marca, AS Sport, and Mundo Deportivo. But not, we don't take what they say as gospel. All right. The grown-ups, we like to see what one side's saying. You know, when Real Madrid were bidding for Trent Alexander-Arnold, for example, you know, Joyce at the Times, who many people think he's Michael Edwards, really. Same, you know what I mean? Same sort of thing. It's his words, if you like. You know, when he was making some claims, I was saying, well, you know, the equivalent in Spain, you know, for Real Madrid, he's saying this, you know what I mean? So it's just good to get information, and at the end of the day, you form your own opinions, right? Anyway, so let's go. Valencia edge Valladolid in crucial La Liga clash. So Valencia secured a massive, and it was a massive 2-1 home victory yesterday. It's certainly massive after Mamardashvili made a fucking absolute terrible howler. The result lifts Valencia out of the bottom three, the fifth from bottom, and leaves Valladolid rock bottom. I think that's where they were before the game. Now, Mamardashvili made an absolute howler in the game. Valencia were winning 1-0 at the time, so to make that mistake was fucking hell. So the defender passes it back to him, right? Not under great pressure, to be honest with you, but not the easiest of circumstances, but certainly nothing to trouble the goalkeeper. So you know, there's an attack, the centre-back, if you like, I think it might be the right-back, I don't know, it doesn't matter, left-back, it doesn't matter, right, passes the ball to Mamardashvili, he just had to clear it, you know, or put it away or whatever, and he literally passed it to a player in the centre, an attacking player in the centre. So if you think about it, you've got the defender being, you know, running towards the goalkeeper with an attacker with him, right? So Mamardashvili kicks it out, not to the attacker that's with the defender, but just a completely other random attacking player in the centre who just slots home. I mean, it was embarrassing. It was very, very, very poor. And fortunately for Valencia, or should I say fortunately for Mamardashvili, they did win the game 2-1, which I was delighted about because I had 2 bets on that game. I backed Valencia to win, and I also backed them to, you know, for the game to have more than 2 goals. So he did me a favour, really. Now I know his form will concern some Liverpool supporters. I don't need you, you know, on here to tell me, you know, Pepe Reina did this one, so we put this many past Alisson. I don't need you to tell me that. I'm telling people what's happening in Spain, all right? So while you've got the fan accounts, the content creators and all the Twitter twats and aggregators, right, putting out all these clips of all these finest saves, right, because, you know, all positive news, I'm going to tell you what's also happening on the other side of things, right, the negative side as well. And for some time here, Mamardashvili has been playing terrible. Right? That's not a personal opinion. It's just a fact. Okay? Now, some people are saying it's because he's got Liverpool on his mind, right? And it could be that, right? I don't think there's anything to be alarmed by. I'm not concerned, guys, about his form coming to Liverpool. Some people will be. You've always got your negative, Nellies, is it? Negative Nellies or whatever. It's fine. You could look at it. The press here are saying it's costing Valencia points, but I could argue that, a few months ago they were saying Valencia wouldn't have climbed out of the relegation zone if it wasn't for the saves he was making, right? He's a goalkeeper, right? So goalkeepers, make mistakes and, concede goals, just like Darwin Nunez sometimes misses, right? Stop picking on Nunez, he scored, no, he scored yesterday. He made a great assist the other day and everyone wants him to stay now because of that. Anyway, let's stick with Mamardashvili, right? So, brilliant goalkeeper, but has gone to shit. Now, you were going to turn around and say, this is what does my head in when people say, Valencia is struggling. What do you expect, Chubbs? Listen, right? Everyone knows Valencia is struggling. Everybody. But that doesn't mean that he is not playing more, shitter than he usually does, right? So, yes, they're playing poorly, not very well. But the argument here is if he was himself, if he was on form, the brilliant goalkeeper that he is used to being, that people are used to seeing, Valencia would be a lot higher up the table. That's the argument, all right? So, let's see what it says. Now, neither Marca or AS, right? I know it's not pronounced AS, but I have to say it like that because if I pronounce it, it sounds like a naughty word in Spanish. Neither Marca or AS scored him for his performance. So, like they give ratings for each player in Spain in those publications. It's between 1 and 3 stars. He didn't even get a 1 star yesterday, which is pretty harsh. But if you follow my daily videos, you'll know that that's been happening quite a bit. And so Zubimendi as well. Real Sociedad's been very, very poor the last few months. Although I think he's been carrying an injury. I'm not going to go into all that. And it said... AS wrote as follows: the Georgian has gone from performing miracles to giving gifts. So, the fans, after he made that mistake, in fairness to Valencia fans, the Valencia faithful or whatever, they were chanting his name and singing him and trying to, encourage him, and he needs that, right? So he's lost it a bit. Now, you could say that's because his mind's on Liverpool, but you're a professional, you still got to perform. But maybe, maybe he makes a few mistakes like that, right? What would you think if you were that goalkeeper, right? And you're being criticised, people are saying things, people are doubting about you, you're going to a new club soon. What would you be thinking? You'd be thinking, oh my God, them Liverpool fans are going to think I'm shit, man. I must have a good game to, fucking hell. You know what I mean? Like total mental crisis, breakdown. I'm not concerned. I think that when he goes to Anfield, it's a different thing, right? It's a different attitude. He'd be joining winners, not losers. No offence, Valencia, right? And Valencia is a club in turmoil with the ownership. They want rid of him. There was banners there last night, Peter Lim sort of thing. Coming to Liverpool with a real solid setup. He says he's not coming to Anfield to be a reserve goalkeeper. Listen, Karius was a good goalkeeper when we bought him, and I don't even need to go there, right? So I can understand why fans are like, oh, hang on a minute, what? I will agree with this statement. One of the things when they say, why did we spend 29 million or whatever it was on this keeper? We got Kelleher. But if Kelleher's not willing to wait around until Alisson moves on, what do you do? And there was concerns over Alisson's injuries as well. But fans tend to remember the most recent things. And the most recent things, of course, was his Champions League performance there from Alisson. Incredible goalkeeper. So, Mamardashvili, you are coming to be... number 2 to Alisson, unless the fuckers sell him in the summer, there'd be hell on, wouldn't there? But I think people see a bit of what happened with Pepe Reina and Mignolet here. Some of us will remember how we had a very, very good goalkeeper in Pepe Reina, but they wanted him out because of the salary he was on, and then put in Mignolet that was very cheap, right? And I think some fans, that use the noddle a little bit, might be thinking, hang on a minute, are they going to get rid of Alisson to save money and put this other kid in? Now listen, Mamardashvili is a very, very good goalkeeper. I can show you clips of him, with his 10 world-class saves. He's just not having a good time at the moment. And honestly, last night, I watched the half-time analysis in Spain, and they were like that, like, the fuck, So... if you want to see that goal, I can't show it on here, but it'll be on here on YouTube, obviously. I did put it on at Cop Talk on the X account, and excuse me, I posted it on the VIP members website as well. I think, yeah, I did. But yeah, take a look at it. Goalkeepers make mistakes. It just so happens that he's making a lot at the moment, and he is not good. Right, so let me go back to my notes. I do apologise. Let's stick with something Liverpool related. It's very brief. Stefan Bajčetić is expected to play for Las Palmas at Real Betis today. There are suggestions his manager could be sacked if they lose. Las Palmas have dropped to second from bottom in the table, below Valencia. And so he's got a bit of a relegation battle going on there at the moment, but he is expected to play. I'll keep an eye on him. Do you know what? To be honest with you, I forgot he was even there. I think he went there in the January window. Is that right? I can't remember. You know what my memory's like. But I am aware now, and every time I see Las Palmas mentioned in the papers, I do look for anything to do with him for you. Real Sociedad versus Sevilla, a European qualification battle. Quality. Rafa says quality, for sure. So we're just spinning that to quality. Real Sociedad host Sevilla this evening. A game with 3 very valuable points at stake for both sides' hope of qualifying for European football next season. Martín Zubimendi has at least made the squad, as Rafa Benitez would say, for sure. After a week without training with his teammates, but whether he'll start or not, we'll have to wait and see. Martín Zubimendi not been getting very good ratings either recently, not playing very well. I remember a couple of months ago talking about an article published in one of the papers here saying about fatigue. He's played more minutes than any other outfield player, needs a rest. And then there was around the time that the Daily Mail, I think it was the exact same day, the Daily Mail ran an exclusive saying he's agreed to go to Arsenal, sign for Arsenal. And he was injured. He had a bad knee and a bad ankle, and there was doubts, they were seriously worried about him. But then he was available 2 days later again. It was like, oh, right, okay. But I've just had this niggling feeling that he's carrying a problem somewhere, and sometimes they're given painkillers, injections and shit. I just wonder if it's that. And last week he was sent for a scan on Monday because he'd reported discomfort after the Barcelona game, and it was like, will he play against Manchester United, which I think was on the Thursday, and they said that he would have a late fitness test, maybe even just before kickoff, but he missed that game with a sudden illness. He had an illness. Now, did he have an illness, or was it related to that scan he had earlier in the week and some problems? So the only reason I'm telling you this, and maybe you're not interested in Martín Zubimendi, I am, and I'll be talking about him until his future's resolved, so get used to it. If you're a newcomer to my channel, I'm interested, where he goes. Whether he goes to Arsenal, I don't think I can't see him going to Man City. Real Madrid, they're not really pushing for that kind of player at the moment. If they do want a player of that profile, they would go for him, and I think he would jump at the chance to go there. Liverpool, I know some of you are like, don't want him. Nah, he's had his chance. But I tell you what, unless you understand what the Spanish players are like that are born in that region, playing for those exclusive clubs, what it means to them. He wanted to sign for Liverpool, but he wanted the blessing of his club. All right, it is a big deal. He was ridden from 6. It's not like just leaving, a club you've been with all your life. It's even worse than that. You need to look into the history of those, handful of clubs in that region. It's a big fucking deal, and you are a traitor unless you get that handshake saying we wish you well. And I think Liverpool fans sometimes, and maybe fans of other clubs as well, just don't understand that connection, that history. And the only thing you could liken it to a little bit is, wouldn't you love it if Trent Alexander-Arnold was doing the same thing, saying, I'm finding it really fucking difficult. And it's not the same. I mean, he's a local boy, and he's been with the club all his life, so it's very similar, but I think it's even worse for them clubs in that region, Real Sociedad, etc. So he wanted to join Liverpool. I don't believe all this mountain shit that people were trying to discredit him with and all that at the time. Absolutely pathetic. That's just from people trying to save face and, trying to mock him and all that. This is a player that Liverpool were very interested in. You tell me they wouldn't be interested now. I don't believe that. So as far as I'm concerned, it's open on him. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes to Liverpool, but the world seems to think he's going to go to Arsenal, although that is denied here. If you follow my daily updates from the Spanish papers, you'll know that we discovered that he took a short-term lease on his property that he's living in at the moment, which suggests that, could suggest that he's thinking, I'm going to go in the summer, but leases could be renewed, and for all we know, that might have happened the year before. I think he'll be on the move in the summer. I'm going to keep talking about him until his future's resolved. If he moves to Arsenal, he won't be mentioned on here again. Do you know what I mean? So we're just keeping an eye on these players for obvious reasons. Salah's Ballon d'Or buzz grows stronger. Marca mentioned today that Salah is in the running for the Ballon d'Or due to his ongoing performances. We all know this. But again, Marca, AS, even Sport, these papers over here, they write very well about Liverpool Football Club, acknowledging that Liverpool's amazing at the moment. Huge praise for Arne Slot as well. No one, saying, oh, it's Jurgen Klopp's team or whatever. The real big praise for Arne Slot. And they keep mentioning, Salah saying, man, he's not signed a contract yet, and Salah's getting a lot of praise. I just thought I'd mention it to you. Jose Felix Diaz, he is my go-to for reporting regarding Real Madrid. He writes for Marca. He's the one that writes all the big articles about Trent Alexander-Arnold and Real Madrid. And he's wrote today for a column for Marca today. But again, I think this is his third column now, maybe four, that where he hasn't gone anywhere near Trent. And he was doing that literally every time he wrote something, So I keep an eye on Diaz, the journalist, for you. But again, he's not touched on that today. The latest suggestions in Mundo Deportivo yesterday, not the print version, but their website, was that Real Madrid were looking at, trying to get Trent released early from his Liverpool contract, which expires on the 30th of June, but they want him in the second week of June. I think they've got a game on the 18th, of June in that FIFA Club World Cup, and they want to get Trent released. Liverpool would be able to do that, but I'm sure they'd want compensating. It was also in a British tabloid yesterday, I think, which we're not going to reference that tabloid in here, that's for sure, but it's important that you know where it comes from. And I think it was maybe them that started with that claim, and I think Mundo Deportivo touched on it. However, again, if you follow my daily updates with regards to what's happening in Spain, a couple of weeks ago I said to you that the chatter here, it wasn't in the newspapers, but the chatter here was that Real Madrid were going to ask Liverpool to do them a favour and release Trent early. Okay, Sport, the pro-Barcelona newspaper, they praised Nunez's resilience in Liverpool win. They touched on yesterday's game and they wrote as follows: all the outside noise didn't seem to affect Darwin Nunez, the Uruguayan striker, highly criticised for his lack of accuracy in the definition and with his future at Liverpool in doubt, has decided to respond forcefully on the pitch. He has already done it in the Champions League against PSG, and he did it again yesterday to beat Southampton 3-1. Okay, right, we're going to end now. This is nothing to do with Liverpool. I don't know if you knew about this yesterday. Barcelona were due to play yesterday. Some sad news there. Tragedy struck the club yesterday. The club's first team doctor, Carles Miñaro Garcia, passed away unexpectedly at the age of 53. He died in his hotel room while the team was gearing up for the La Liga match against Osasuna last night. There's no... sorry, I'm getting a message on my phone. Nothing, there's no further details as to why that happened. But obviously, a great loss to the club and its supporters, which was documented in the papers today. And as a gesture of respect, the game last night was cancelled. I was going to watch that game last night. But the club doctor passed away there. And very sad, so I just thought I'd mention it anyway. All right, guys, that's it. So I will leave you with that. If there's anything, that you'd like to bring to my attention in the comments, please do. So, thumbs up if you appreciate this video. Drop me a comment if you've got anything to say, as long as it's fucking sensible. If you want to buy me a coffee or a beer, hit the super thanks button. It's the love heart under the video. If you can't see it, there's 3 links in the video description. And I will give you a shout out in tomorrow morning's morning briefing, as you know, to tell people how fucking great you are. But don't forget that my morning briefings are now on my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Duncan Oldham. All right, /Duncan Oldham. There was a morning briefing on there already today. They're very personal, the morning briefings where I tell people what my plans are with live streams. I think we might even have mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned Chiesa at the end of it today. I don't know. It's more of a community thing, but the updates are over on youtube.com/Duncan Oldham. I will be back in the cafe tomorrow morning, all being well, reviewing the papers for you. So thanks to those of you that do keep me topped up on the coffee. It's only €2 a coffee. It's not bad. And you get free biscuit, and I bring that home for Remy. I do. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, fuck off, Chubs. You do. I fucking do. If you watch my morning briefings, you'll see them. So yeah, hopefully I'll be doing that. And like I say, this afternoon, I'm away to the football. So a very difficult game. I'm 4th from bottom versus joint 3rd today. So we're not expecting out, but we'll go and have a sing-song and a bit of a giggle. And yeah, nice one. All right, guys, take care. Have a great day. And I'll speak to you real soon. Up the fucking Reds. All right.